While relieving himself in the wilderness, an old man accidentally discovered something hidden in the grass. Peeking through, it seemed to be a small bird? No, it had furry wings, looking like a bird and a person at the same time. Adorable. The old man felt affection and wished he could adopt it. He shouted to the sky a few times, "Anyone want a bird?" Confirming no one answered, then happily took the bird person home. His wife, Suihua, was both surprised and delighted. Although they didn't know what species it was, she quickly took out a fruit plate, laid down a cloth, and made it a little nest. Because the couple had been married for many years, they had never had children. A few days ago, they prayed to heaven, hoping to be blessed with a child. Now, it's fine, regardless of whether it's a person or a bird. It's quite cute. So, the couple decided to adopt it as their own child, and named it yanami. Suihua just picked up the little fellow. It eagerly sucked on her finger. Obviously, yanami was starving. Suihua quickly brought 500 milliliters of high-calcium milk, and fed it 2 large bottles. The little thing finally fell asleep peacefully. That night, the old man suddenly remembered the child didn't have any clothes. So the next day, Suihua had to cut up the clothes of their home doll, and made a brand new pretty dress for the little one. The old man even dismantled her tricycle and suitcase, handcrafting a baby carriage for yanami. The elderly couple could finally take her out for a stroll on the farm. But luckily, Suihua stopped her in time. If they discovered its wings, it would be a big problem. Unexpectedly, just after one night, the next day, the little thing grew dozens of times larger. It started hopping around there, occasionally flapping its wings, seeming to want to fly. Moreover, it always liked to squat on the chicken coop, looking at the chickens, and mimicking the chickens, making soft sounds. After Suihua discovered this, from that day on, she started trying to teach it to learn to speak like a human. But strangely, yanami could learn the sounds of chicks and ducklings, but couldn't learn to say mama. All day long it would only chatter unintelligible bird language. Although yanami couldn't speak a word yet, it added a lot of joy to the elderly couple's life. Soon, a few more months passed. However, this bird person, perhaps due to hidden genes, in the following days, her actions left the elderly couple at a loss. But one day, when it was standing on top of the wardrobe, it suddenly saw a poisonous spider on the floor. Mom thought it was scared again, but yanami jumped down from above and pounced on it. Looking back, the thing actually swallowed the poisonous spider whole. It was from this time on, having eaten raw food, it no longer liked the food mom cooked. What to do for the child's health? With no choice, Suihua had to catch some wild spicy strips. yanami saw them and happily ate them. Delicious. Clearly, this little thing is more like a bird. But the couple didn't dislike it because of this. They even took it to a restaurant, planning to eat chicken stewed with mushrooms. Unexpectedly, at that moment the chef walked by carrying a wild chicken, instantly making yanami drool. Worried she would cause trouble, Suihua quickly took her to the bathroom to hide. After a while, when she opened the bathroom door, she was stunned. Only a pair of small red shoes remained on the toilet. The little thing had actually slipped out of the window. At that time, yanami was flying in the sky with a flock of geese. But it was her first time flying, and soon she ran out of energy and fell from the sky. Fortunately, yanami landed on a soft bed, without any injuries. The couple was extremely worried, thinking she had flown north with the geese, so they quickly boarded a train south to search for her. Meanwhile, the little girl entered the room, and saw yanami with a pair of wings. The innocent girl thought it was an angel. Although they didn't understand each other's language, the equally innocent pair quickly became good friends. The little girl could roughly understand yanami's meaning, and brought her some eggs from home. At that moment, Dad ran upstairs. The little girl quickly hid yanami under the bed, and she wasn't discovered. In the following days, yanami, through continuous learning, finally mastered balance. By now, she could easily fly to the top of a 100-meter-tall tree to sleep. It was on this day, the couple circled the globe and finally found this place. Seeing yanami still napping, their worried hearts finally settled. The three of them waited quietly under the tree for her to wake up. Unexpectedly, in a moment of distraction, yanami had flown off to play again, without anyone noticing. It turned out she had seen a flock of wild ducks and flew up to play with them. What she didn't realize was, danger was slowly approaching. This little bird person, simply because she was so beautiful, and the ugly ducklings flying with her knew this girl was definitely not one of their own. Without a word, they all began to attack yanami. For a moment, yanami was at a loss, because she had only just learned to fly, lacking experience, and alone. She was clearly no match for the flock of wild ducks. She was quickly defeated and fell down. Luckily, she landed on top of the clock tower, and coincidentally, this scene was witnessed by the town's residents. yanami, with a wing injury, unable to fly, was trapped up there. Subsequently, the residents called for a rescue team to help her down. However, the rescuer, Wanmao, rescued. The couple also arrived. Wanmao believed his acrophobia had caused the rescue to fail, so he decided to help the couple search for Yunzhanmai. Following the direction of the wild ducks, they prepared to enter the forest. Meanwhile, Yunzhanmai was squatting by the window, watching the birds in the trees, seemingly wishing she could be like them. It turned out there were hunters nearby shooting birds. Looking in the direction of the sound, they saw a blue cloak fall into a well. They rushed over to check. It was the cloak Cuehua had made for Yunzhanmai. They thought she had fallen into the well, but when they went down to look, they didn't see Yunzhanmai. This meant she hadn't been hit. To find Yunzhanmai, the couple quickly hopped on their little donkey, put on their 8-power telescope, and followed the birds in the sky, chasing them all the way to the seaside. Through the 8-power telescope, Cuehua finally saw Yunzhanmai, but she didn't notice the couple. With a burst of energy, she flew towards the ocean, preparing to cross the Atlantic. Helplessly, the couple could only sit silently by the sea, praying for the little one, hoping she wouldn't fall into the sea. But the thing they feared most happened. The tiny Yunzhanmai was blown by a merciless gust of wind, directly into the sea. The old man was so scared he rushed into the ocean. Fortunately, Yunzhanmai was washed back by the waves, having only swallowed a few mouthfuls of seawater, and was unharmed. In this way, Yunzhanmai was safely brought home by the couple. Cuehua happily danced, and prepared a table of insect delicacies to celebrate. However, in the days that followed, Yunzhanmai was always listless. That night, looking at the birds freely flying in the sky outside the window, she became restless again. Wanting to fly out, she was blocked by the window, unable to fly away. Seeing this, Cuehua seemed to understand something. Perhaps, compared to their love, the little one needed freedom more. So, the next day, the couple took Yunzhanmai to the edge of a cliff. Cuehua left one last kiss on her forehead. After a simple farewell, with a strong throw, they chose to release Yunzhanmai back into nature. Only in freedom can a child spread its wings and soar.